We've seen quite a few different versions of the Lamborghini Huracan over the last couple of years, but now Lamborghini has brought us the most extreme, track-focused yet road-legal version of the car to date, the Lamborghini Huracan STO.
The Huracan STO keeps the same naturally aspirated V10 engine from the Huracan Performante, but ups the horsepower to 640. There is, however, slightly less torque available, 416 pounds-feet of the stuff. Lamborghini says the top speed will be about 193 miles an hour, 0 to 62 will happen in 3 seconds flat, and it will hit 200 kilometers an hour or 124 miles an hour in just 9 seconds.
So on paper, the stats of the STO are quite similar to that of the Performante. In fact, its top speed is slightly lower and it's got slightly less torque. But what this car is built around is downforce. It is designed to give you the best cornering speed and the best lap times possible. And every part of this car that's bespoke to this model is designed to help with that. It starts up front here with something called the Cofango. That's a portmanteau of Cofano, which means bonnet, and Parafango, which means fender. And they've made that one word because it's one single piece, right from here all the way around to the other side. Less panels mean less fixing points, means lighter weight, but it's also sculpted in a way that sends the air over these front fenders to increase downforce. Met up here with these louvers which relieve pressure from the wheel arch, which again helps keep the car sucked down to the road. The air intakes in the bonnet are also designed to send more air through the central radiator to aid cooling, but also provide a lot of downforce right here.
The new front splitter, which is also part of the single-piece front shell, gives a much more simplified look to the front of the STO over other versions of the Huracan, and helps direct airflow to a new design of underbody and towards the rear diffuser.
The body panels on this car, 75% of it is carbon fiber. It gives it about a 43 kilo weight saving over the Performante. The windshield is also 20% lighter than that of the Performante, which helps keep the center of gravity that little bit lower.
The rear fender has had a full design overhaul. The newly sculpted body panel has a reduced frontal area, meaning there is less to push through the air, decreasing drag. It also drives air over the rear wheel arch, adding downforce, and NACA ducts on each side act as the engine's air intake. The STO has a snorkel air scoop on top of the rear bonnet, just like on the Huracan Super Trofeo Evo. Conveniently, there was one parked right next to the STO for reference. It channels air into the engine bay for cooling, but some air deflectors built into the frame of the rear bonnet help either feed air into the engine bay or not, depending on the cooling needs of the engine at any given point.
The shark fin along the back spine of the car, much like on the race car, is there to regulate yaw. As you come into a corner and the car rotates and potentially over-rotates going into oversteer, the additional pressure that is caused by that fin will help stabilize the car.
So, despite being just rear-wheel drive, the STO should still feel remarkably stable through fast corners.
This car will not be set up for drifting. This is completely about getting around the corner stably and as quickly as possible. It also helps straighten the air coming over the car onto the wing. It's a fixed wing, but you can manually adjust it between 3 settings depending on the track that you're driving at. Whether it's one that requires straight line speed with long straights or something incredibly technical, you can add more or less downforce by the attitude of the rear wing. Absolutely everything that's bespoke to the STO is designed not to make it go quicker, but to keep it stuck to the road. This car will be incredible through corners. It will be able to hold its speed through apexes like nothing else. It won't necessarily make it a more comfortable road car, but this car is bred for the track.
Lamborghini describes the total amount of downforce available as the highest level in its class. The STO should in fact generate 53% more downforce than the Huracan Performante. The STO is fitted with Brembo CCM R brakes, which use F1 technology to deliver both performance and durability. The STO also has new brake ducts channeling air in to keep those bad boys cool. Lamborghini goes so far as to describe the brake feel as sporty, so make sure you've secured all loose items before giving your left foot braking a go, unless you want to see who wins a fight between your phone and the windshield.
The interior isn't quite as race car-y as the exterior would suggest. It's familiar to anyone that's driven a Lamborghini before, and it's got those comfortable Alcantara touching surfaces all around, and the steering wheel looks very familiar indeed. There are some extra touches that make this feel exactly like a racing car. There's a roll bar back here made of titanium, made in conjunction with technical partner Carfection, which I am reliably told by Henry Catchpole is the way you pronounce that, so blame him if it's wrong. The driving modes are a bit different than you'd expect on a normal Lamborghini, where normally we'd have Strada, Sport and Corsa. On here we have STO, which is effectively a street driving mode, Trofeo, which is everything else, where you're really focused on lap times, and Pioggia, which I believe in Italian means rain for when it's wet. A much more simplified selection of driving modes there to show that this car is really about track driving. Yes, you can drive it out on the road, but really that Trofeo mode is what this car will be designed to run in all the time. If you were inclined to take the STO on a longer road trip, it would probably end up being a lot more comfortable than a lot of other race cars can be. These seats might have quite a bit of carbon fiber in them, but they're more comfortable than a lot of other racing seats I've ever sat in. It's not going to break your back after just 20 minutes on the dual carriageway. There you have it, Lamborghini Huracan STO. The price, about £217,000 plus taxes, which is a lot, but for a car that's this focused on setting lap records, it should be worth it. And considering the Performante managed to set a Nürburgring lap record, I have high expectations that this is going to do something similar. Now, if you have any other questions about this car, let us know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button. We are very close to hitting the 1 million subscriber mark, and we'd love it if you could tip us over that edge. Anyway, for now, until we get to drive this thing, it's goodbye. Mm-hmm.